access to fresh fruit and vegetables. So let's give it up for Vincent.
So, this is a story of healing and justice. It's also my story. My story, unfortunately, is not a untypical American story. Morbidly obese, clinically depressed to the point where I could barely hold down a job. You see, my father died of colon cancer when I was 14. And with that, I had these holes. And to fill those holes, I fill them with anger and emotional eating. And I went on that way. Things came to a head last June when a beloved uncle of mine passed away from a heart attack. So it's after the funeral. We're cleaning out his apartment. And I'm tasked with cleaning out the fridge. So I'm in the fridge, I'm getting everything out. And it's all the usual suspects in there. Ham, bacon, hot dogs, all my favorites. But this time it felt different, If this was a murder mystery, the killer would be in the fridge. For whatever reason, things just started clicking. And I wanted to know who I could be without those holes. So through that, I began to research, how can I turn the page? And through that, I discovered a plant-based diet. So, timeout, flag on the play. I know some of y'all, you're like, I don't feel like being preached to this evening. Somebody might be eating a McChicken back there. I don't know. And I was the same way last year. But when I began to truly get into the research and understanding that a lot of Americans' top killers could be prevented and many times reversed through a plant-based diet, two things came to mind. Number one, why is this not the default consensus within medical literature? Why am I just now finding out about this? And then the second thing was, you mean to tell me if those loved ones who are no longer here, if they had this information, I could have had more moments with them, They could have possibly still been here. I don't know, you think about, any loved one that you ever had that's no longer here, man, what would you be willing, because I had some trepidation. I was like, I don't know. But what would you be willing to give up to have another moment with a loved one who's no longer here? And for me, it was everything. So with that, I began to soar. I began to, go full stop. Like, this is what I'm doing right now. But a carpenter is only as good as his tools. So this is the justice piece. I go to my first stop, which is in Old Louisville, at the Unitarian Church. And I still, even though I was like, this is what I'm doing right now, I had my doubts. But when I stepped in there, the love that was shown to me, the compassion, the community that was shown to me, just lifted me up. I don't know if Mr. Tim is here. One of the volunteers, he's going on about, a mess of collards and, talking about Wendell-Berry and, eating is an agricultural act. These things inspired me. So, I step in there, I feel that love, and, away I went. I say this without exaggeration. Most of what I ate on a whole food plant-based diet came from the share, with some, minor accoutrements. But, every 2 weeks, the share was, providing me substance. So, I'm going along with that. And another piece on the community. you know, I didn't have a lot of money during the summer, and Karen, the director, you know, I called her one day and was like, you know, I don't have it. You know, I'm gonna have to cancel my share. And she told me, no, you're not. Okay, you figure it out. You know, this is for you to use. Pay it forward. But you know, this is here for you. And you know, with that, I just, you know, I'm Team NewRoots. You know, from here on out, because of that, you know, the love and the community that was shown to me. So, you know, I carry on. As of June 1st, I have lost 95 pounds through a whole food plant-based diet. Blood markers, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, everything is non-existent. My medication refractory depression is a mere mirage in the desert. So, you know, I told myself if I dug myself out of that hole, I would dedicate my life to making sure everyone, regardless of how much money you have, regardless of, you know, what side of town you live on, will have the same opportunities that I was afforded. And that's justice. So, you know, I want to leave y'all with this. Well, also, you know, side story, really quick. I don't know if Rootbound's in the house here. It's pretty rad to, you know, meet the people who provided you substance, you know, and changed my life in my instance. Real quick, as a volunteer, I made a food run to Rootbound, and I pulled up in my Ford Focus, and he said, "Hey man, where's your pickup at? You know, what's it to do with this?" So, no, I appreciate you guys, man, for what you do, and any other producers that are out here. So, I'll leave you guys with this. You know, the body and the mind, placed under the right conditions, can heal itself. Thank you.